Good day, we are group 13. This is our JST 320 generic box. With our group's generic box, we decided on going with the string telephone activity, how sound waves travel. What you will need is toilet rolls, cardboard paper, hot glue gun with supervision, or you can use wood glue, cotton twine or string, markers, and scissors. I'm going to explain now how to make the string telephone. Step 1. Use the marker and trace the toilet roll on the cardboard paper. Step 2. Cut out the circles. Step 3. Glue the circles onto the toilet rolls and let it dry. Step 4. Use the scissors to poke a little hole in the bottom of each toilet roll. Step 5. String a piece of twine between the rolls. Use a long piece of string to help the sound travel farther. Step 6. Tie a knot in the end of the string to keep it in the roll. Step 7. Decorate the rolls if desired. Instructions on how to use the string telephone. One person can hold the phone up to the ear and the other can talk into the other cup. Keep the string tight or the sound waves won't travel correctly. Including in our box with the resources and the instructions sheet, there will be a string telephones worksheet where there are 4 questions the learner can answer about this experiment, as well as there will be a string telephone explanation of where it's a brief history about the string telephones that the children can read. That is what we decided on our generic box, and to follow is the rest of the group's discovery boxes. Thank you. Good day, we are group. Good day, my name is Lindray Engelbrecht. My student number is U19127-350. My discovery box activity is what sound does it make when you shake? The resources that you will need is 6 toilet rolls, scissors, paper or cardboard paper, tape. Items to use inside the shakers: rice, paper clips, macaroni, toilet paper, bottle caps. You can substitute those with any other type of items. How to make the shakers. Get 6 toilet rolls and a piece of paper. Step 2. Draw 12 circles big enough to seal the end of the shakers. Step 3. Stick one end closed with the paper and the tape. Step 4. Fill your toilet rolls with the items listed above and leave one shaker empty. Step 5. Tape another lid onto the other end of the toilet roll, enclosing the items in. Step 6. Finish it off by decorating the shakers. Please remember to mark the shakers to remember what item is in what shaker and write it on a piece of paper. Otherwise, you will forget what item is in what shaker for future use. In my box with the resources to make the shakers and the instruction sheet, there will also be an activity sheet, and on the activity sheet there is 5 questions that need to be answered. So shake the shakers and answer the following questions on a different piece of paper. The questions are as follow. Does it make a sound? What sound does it make? Is it loud or soft? What do you think is inside the cup? What other things sound similar? And once I have completed that, that is my activity. In the photos above, it is me doing the activity as I could not get to a child in such short notice, and it was a really fun activity. I quite enjoyed doing it, and I believe children will also enjoy doing this activity as it is hands on and it makes them think a bit more than what they usually do with activities. And it's a very fun and creative activity. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Letabo Chabalala, and for my Discovery Box activity, I'll be making 3 kazoo instruments. And the name of my Discovery Box activity is Identifying the Different Sounds Made by Kazoo Instruments. What exactly is a kazoo? A kazoo is a toy wind instrument that has a film that makes a sound when you mama into the mouthpiece. What you will need to make the 3 kazoos as shown on the picture below are 3 toilet roll boxes, a rectangular shaped foil, half of an A4 blank paper, Simba plastic paper, a pencil and 3 elastic bands. This is how the final product of the kazoos will look like after they've been constructed. The kazoos I designed are made from toilet paper rolls which I painted. The mouthpiece of the first kazoo is covered with foil material. The second mouthpiece of the kazoo is covered with paper. And the last mouthpiece of the kazoo is covered with Simba plastic. To ensure that the recyclable material sticks to the mouthpieces of the toilet paper roll boxes, elastic bands are to be attached to the sides of the kazoos so that the material does not fall off when doing the activity. Now I'm going to play the 3 instruments so that you may be able to hear how they sound. The first one. The second one. And the third one. I had to design these instruments because I did not have a child to work with, so I had to do the activity by myself. But the designing of these activities can be done by learners in the foundation phase, and once the learners have designed their kazoo instruments, they can play them, and after playing them, they will receive a question paper with 5 questions. The first question being, what is the difference between the sounds made by the 3 kazoos? The second question being, how does it change the sound of your voice? Does it sound serious, silly, funny, or beautiful? The third question being, touch the paper, foil, or Simba plastic with your finger while playing the kazoo. What do you notice? Can you feel any vibrations? The fourth question being, put your fingers on your neck while singing or talking. What do you feel? If you feel any vibrations, please describe them. The fifth and last question being, poke a hole on the 2 sides of one of the kazoos with a pencil. What happens? Does the hole make it easier or harder to play the kazoo? If so, what might be the reason? By designing and playing with these instruments, a learner will learn about the different sounds made and that vibrating air pressure created by the hum causes the kazoo's membrane to vibrate. This creates a sound in which pitch and loudness vary with the humming. Thus, this is an instrument that makes use of a resonating membrane to amplify the sound.
This activity is called making music with a straw pen fluid. For this activity, I used the following resources: straws, marker, scissor, ruler, and a red tape. This activity teaches the child about frequency and pitch. The child is going to explore different sounds. Why don't all sounds sound the same? What causes these differences? In this activity, the child will begin by cutting the straws, making each straw 2 centimeters shorter than the last, using a ruler for measurement, so that all the straws have different lengths. After cutting the straws, the child will then tape the straws together to make a pen flute. I will then instruct the child to blow through these straws and ask questions like, what does the length of the straw have to do with the pitch of the sound we hear? Which straws make higher and lower pitches, and why? What happens to the sound the shorter a straw is cut?
Good day, my name is Zianda Kenga, and today I will be taking you through my discovery box and also discuss the activities I will be doing with the learner using my discovery box. The materials that I chose to do the experiment are a cookie container, scissors, sellotape, as well as 2 paper towel tubes or rolls. My group and I chose the theme sound. So my objectives for this activity are that the learners will learn about the differences in sound waves. They will learn that waves can be short and close together, or they can be long and far apart. The activity I will be doing with the learner is about sound waves that causes echoes. I will first explain to the learner what an echo is, which is sound that is repeated because the sound waves are reflected back, and that although the direction of the sound changes, the echo sounds the same as the original sound. Instructions for the experiment that I will give to the learner are: prop the cookie container up on a table so it is vertical. Take 1 paper towel tube and place it on the table, angled a bit but still aimed at the cookie container. Take the other paper towel and have it angled the opposite way, but also still aimed at the cookie container. Put your ear to one of the tubes while I talk softly into the other. While doing this activity, I will be asking the child questions. The first question that I'll ask is that after talking softly in the tube, I will ask the learner what they heard, and if they answer correctly, I will give them a tick on the checklist that I will have with me. I will ask the learner if the sound they heard was loud or soft. I will ask if the sound they heard is long or short and why they think so. I will ask them what they think will happen when I talk loudly. Will they hear the sound more clearer, or will they have difficulties in hearing the sound? I will then ask the learner to put the paper towel tubes in the wrong direction, not aimed at the cookie container. Then I'll ask them if they can hear me. The answer will be no, because the learner will get to understand that in order for them to hear my voice, there needs to be a hard surface so that the sound waves can bounce back into the other tube, which makes it possible for them to hear the echo. But if the sound waves meet soft surfaces, they will be absorbed by them and will not bounce back, and therefore they will not be able to hear the echo sound. The second activity that I will do with the child will be that they will have to draw a sketch of how they think the sound waves traveled as we did the activity. They will also have to label their drawing to show where the sound came from and how it reached the other paper towel roll so that they could hear the echo. To conclude my activity, I will ask the learner what they have learned from the activity and also ask them if they remember what causes an echo and what happened when we put the paper towel rolls the wrong direction. These questions will then help me determine whether the child was able to gain new knowledge from the experiment. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Zanele Nkomo. My student number is U19195126. My discovery box activity is sound vibrations. How can we see sound? Even though we can hear sound made by different objects, we are also able to see sound. Because sound is a vibration or wave that travels through the air. Those vibrations or sound waves are visible to our eyes, and when we find a way to make them move, we are able to see them. The objectives of this activity are: at the end of this activity, the learner should be able to understand that they can use different materials to make sound vibrations. At the end of this activity, the learner should be able to demonstrate how they can make something move using sound. And the learners will have to understand that sound is made by vibrations that are usually too fast to see. The resources that will be used are bowl, a plastic wrap, uncooked rice, sugar, powdered milk, sticks, scissors, and a string. The instructions of this activity are as follows. The learner will use the scissor to cut the plastic wrap. The learner will place the bowl on the table and wrap the plastic around the bowl and hold it together with a string. He or she will make sure that the plastic is tight. The learner will pour 1 teaspoon of uncooked rice on top of the plastic. And then the learner will use a stick to start banging the drum and watch the rice fly all over the place. She will do the same with the powdered milk and sugar. She will place them on top of the plastic and start banging the drum and watch them bounce and make vibrations. The questions that will be asked during this activity are: what did you observe? Which objects have the most bounce between the rice, sugar, and powdered milk? How do vibrations change as you hit the drum softly and heavily? What do you think would happen if you made a very quiet noise with the drum? Thank you.
The name of this discovery box activity is Sound Bottles. Learners are going to use this box to explore volume. In this box, we have empty plastic bottles, stones, sugar, and water. Plastic bottles must be the same size as we try to make the result as relevant as possible. Stones must be washed first for hygienic purposes. Sugar can be replaced with anything that has the same texture, such as soil, to cut any possible expenses, but in this presentation, I am going to use sugar. Water should be pure and clean. The lids must be tightly closed so that the materials inside the bottle may not fall out when the bottle is shaken. Learners have to fill the bottles with three contents that we have. The bottles should be half filled. Learners have to shake the bottles to find out what kind of sound each bottle makes. The questions that may arise here can be: which bottle makes a loud sound and which bottle makes a soft sound? Learners will go on to exploring volume of the sound. This time around, they will explore volume in relation to quantity. Learners will fill the bottles with different amount of contents to find out if the volume of the sound will increase or decrease for each different amount of content. In this presentation, I am going to start with sugar, then go to water, and lastly, stones. The learners are going to shake the bottles, starting with the bottle that has more quantity and ending with the one that has less quantity. While doing this, they are listening carefully to find out if the volume increases or decreases.
From the results that we got from volume versus quantity activity, the volume was going up as the quantity inside the bottle was going down. Learners will realize that the bottle with less quantity produced a loud sound or a high volume as compared to other bottles. Children enjoy discovering things that they didn't know. That is why this activity is a suitable science activity for children.